when I grew up, it was in Scotland. I mean, people went to church. It wasn't like Ireland, which was very, very pressured to go to church. But it was, so it was lovely.
One of the things I found that was quite interesting, because I grew up in the Church of England, but I eventually became Catholic. But it was just because I chose to follow Jesus in my story. And one of the things that I felt was quite interesting was that there was this inner calling, and in my case it was with Jesus, but the church didn't necessarily have some of the aspects, and I can find myself trying to talk to people from different faiths.
You know the story of John O'Donoghue, do you know his work? You should look about. Yeah. He's a mystic. He died actually, but he's written beautiful, beautiful stuff, and he was very badly treated by the Catholic Church. But anyway, without going into those details, it's just generally. But I think people are looking for things.
Yeah.
I mean, when my guru would talk about the Christ consciousness. He would talk about Jesus as being a big spiritual leader who walked the earth, as is Buddha. And I like that. You know, I've travelled so much. I've lived so many different places. I like someone who has a more global view. I do really. But essentially, it's down to discipline. It's down to, I fail so many times, but you just have to keep at it.
Yeah.
But only if you want it. If you don't want it, it doesn't matter. Why do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And as to what makes people want it, like with painting, what makes people give up so much in order to create, I don't know. But I do know this much. If you are born with a gift, you have to take responsibility, otherwise you'll feel miserable.
Yes.
I mean, I've had people burst out crying at my exhibitions because, and I say, what's wrong? Do you hate them? They said, I wish I continued exhibiting. I went through art college and I gave up.
Well, I know from my own experience that if I start to go off path, I get a sense of anxiety.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And it doesn't matter which, and I kind of go, right, I can't deny this. And that is sort of taking that responsibility.
Yes, it is.
Against all odds.
Against all odds. All odds. You were talking earlier about what we would call the inner voice directing you, and I think we all have it, but anyway. I
suppose we call that discernment, don't we? There's a Christian.
This is it. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Listening to the voice that comes into you, because I've looked.
But learning to trust it is difficult, isn't it? Very difficult, because we've got the brain and anyway. But with painting, I always feel, just as life is dragging me away from my painting, responsibilities. All the responsibilities of life. Something happens. Doing this interview just happened, didn't it?
Yes.
I happened to have a guest staying with me who knew it just happened. And again, I thought, this is the source, as we call it, directing me back to my true path, which is painting meditation.
Yeah.
And today I was all, my brain, or in the last week, was caught up in entirely different things. But this is what you're talking about. If you have that knowledge, it can pull you back to, as they say in Islam, the straight path. Mm-hmm. Do you know, when my husband became Muslim, I went up and I learned all the prayers. I never intended to be a Muslim, but I learned them and I know how to do them. It's exactly the same words as the Lord's Prayer.
Mm. Oh, it's really?
Identical.
Okay. Right. And would there be something similar in... you have a guru. Again, I remember studying the Religious Quest, a unit within the university, and it looked at Hinduism. But I from my studies, I think the only people that call Hindus are the West, trying to kind of
because I don't know what a Hindu is really.
Yeah.
I just follow. I just do my meditation with my guru, and suits me. And I'm not big on theory and theology, and I'm really not. I'm a devotional type of nature, so I just devoted to him.
Which I think is lovely. You were talking about another aspect of your life that saved you was the swimming.
Swimming. Oh, I bore everybody by going cold water swimming. In fact, the staff up there always say to me, every time you get a sore throat or anything, it's because you swim in that lake. I live beside an absolutely beautiful lake, and I'd been going through kind of another dip in the wave, and I started swimming in the lake when it was very cold. A friend of mine kind of emotionally blackmailed into it, and because she was older than me and she got in, I thought, I'll go in. Well, I became addicted. It gives you it's like icing your whole body. And it was very, very important to me at that time. And as a result of that, I started painting all my lake paintings again, which were watercolours. I turned my back on the whole Indian work and out came these again, it's the same thing, they were transcendent meditative pieces, but they're of the lake. And of course, I've continued swimming now for 3 years, every single day when I'm here. Of course, I'm in Portugal too at the time, but I swim too. But so many emotions are contained within landscape painting, and it's a very meditative experience when you're alone in the lake.
Yes.
And there are, cormorants and dragonflies and swans, and you're just quietly swimming, and it's quiet. It's just amazing. I'm addicted now, totally. So I will be painting lake paintings for the foreseeable future.
Obviously, this is one environment that you're in, and it gives you one rich source of energy.
Yeah, exactly.
You mentioned going to Portugal. How do the energies change?
Well, it was very funny. I had an exhibition there last winter. I stopped going to India, which is my true love. I stopped going there for health reasons. And I felt I really did need to be within the European health system. And my children, it was easier for them to come over, and many of these reasons. And so I went to Tavira in the Algarve, where I had lived before, an old Portuguese town, very nice. And I was doing an exhibition there. Half of them were prints of my Irish lake paintings, and I was going to do paintings when I was there. And the exhibition was in February, and I went in October. I couldn't paint until after December. I could not get a handle on it. Different climate, different atmosphere. I'm still doing my meditation. I'm still leading my inner life. And then one day I looked up at the sky, and it was so empty. And I thought, there we are. And I just painted. And a lovely thing has happened. I did the exhibition, which was half Portuguese and half Indian. And when I came back, I think some of the images had gone on Facebook, and there's a very well-known traditional musician called Seamus Maguire from Donegal. He's a wonderful fiddle player. And he saw the image, and he said, could we use that for the front of our CD, which is this one here.
Oh, wow, okay.
And he said, it's like the gloaming. You know, the long sunsets that we have here?
Yes.
And although it was painted in Portugal, it is absolutely suits the gloaming. Yeah. And I looked up Robbie Burns, of course, in the gloaming, and I saw, what was it said now? When life's journey heads towards the gloaming, say farewell to vacant, restless roaming. And at 71, and Seamus is probably about the same age, and I just sent a message to him, and I thought, that's the title, Gloaming. How true. You know, when you're in your 20s, you've so much time ahead of you. And at this age, you're reflecting on life, and you pare it down to what you really want to do. And no more restless, vacant roaming.
We have more on the way, so please subscribe to this channel and check out the link below if you'd consider becoming a patron to help us keep making more content. Thanks for watching.